Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to Flowery Monk, Chapter 4, as we all know that Lu Da discovered that he had caused a big calamity. The butcher was beaten to death. He never would realize that just 3 blows had caused him death. I'm going to have to answer for this. I better get out of here right away, he said to himself. He got moving at once, but before leaving he turned to shout at the corpse. If you're shamming, I'll be back to deal with you properly. He strode off as fast as he could. None of the neighbors or the butcher's assistants dared stand in his way. He returned home hastily, made a bundle of some clothes, light valuables, and silver, and abandoning everything else, picked up a staff of eyebrow height and left town by the south gate without delay. So he strode and strode until he traversed several regions and districts. Now he wandered aimlessly for more than half a month, until he came to the district of Daizhou. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when he entered the town, it was a bustling sort of place, crowded with people and with carriages rushing around. 120 different livelihoods and trades were all represented. All kinds of materials and goods were available, and the whole was so well laid out that the small provincial town was by no means inferior to a district capital. Well, as Lu Da went on his way, he happened to observe a knot of people gathered at the crossroads, examining a war poster. In those days, military men like Lu Da were illiterate. Someone in the crowd was reading it aloud, so Lu Da wormed his way into the middle of it. So he wormed himself among the others and heard the man there reading out, Yamen Government Office in the district of Daizhou, on the authority of the military commissariat at Daiyuan, orders the arrest of Lu Da, formerly commandant of the garrison of the above post, for the murder of Zhang the butcher. Anyone sheltering? Well, that's me. I better turn around and leave. That's what Lu Da was thinking. And this moment, someone behind caught hold of him. Elder brother Zhang, what are you doing here? And at the same time he was grasped round the waist and dragged away from the crossroads. When Lu Da turned around to see who was pulling him, he found it was none other than old Jin. You remember? The person whom he had rescued in the Weijiao wine shop. The old man dragged him into a quiet lane. My benefactor, you take such risks. Standing there in front of that poster, when it says, as clear as can be, that they're offering 1,000 strings of cash for your capture? Why did you go and look? If I hadn't happened to see you, the police would have got you for sure. The poster, gives a full description, your age, your appearance, and your place of birth. Luda said, Is that so? Well, old fellow, let me tell you what happened. Really, it was all on your account. So he told the whole story of how he killed Zhang, the butcher, and how he had come in here without a particular plan. But tell me, what are you doing here? Why didn't you go back to the eastern capital? He continued. My savior and my master, the old man said. The day you rescued me, I went to find a cart, because I did indeed intend to return to the eastern capital. But then it occurred to me that Valiant might follow us, and this time we be without the great benefit of your protection. So I didn't go to the eastern capital. I traveled north instead, and chanced upon an old neighbor from the capital who was proceeding to this place on business. He took us with him, my daughter and myself. It was our great good fortune that he kindly introduced my daughter to a suitor, Mr. Zhao, a man of substance who has made her his minor wife, and now pays for her food and clothes. But it all stems from your generosity, sir. My daughter speaks to him often of your kindness, with tears in her eyes. Mr. Zhao, moreover, loves all kinds of martial arts and often says how much he wishes he could meet you, and asks if there isn't some way of bringing it about. So I beg you now to come home with me and stay for a few days while you consider what to do next. So Luda went with old Jin. They came to the door, and old Jin, drawing back the curtain, cried, Daughter! Our benefactor is here! The girl hurriedly came out, richly dressed and adorned, invited Luda to enter and sit down, and prostrated herself before him 6 times. If you had not come to our rescue, how could we be here today? She expressed her gratitude. Well, Luda, when he looked at the girl, he found there was a new air about her. She seemed different, and here are some verses depicting her beauty. A shiny goblin, slantwise set, enhances raven tresses. Green sleeves of artful cut hide the snow-white arms. A mouth round as a cherry, with lips of tender pink, snow-white hands half shown like bamboo shoots in spring. Below the purple silk skirt, a glimpse of tiny feet, the red embroidered coat partially conceals costly jewels. The face is a bouquet of fresh April blossoms, the brows a tender sweep like willow boughs in spring deep. Well, well, a beautiful girl in front of Luda. Luda was definitely not a filthy man. However, he just noticed the girl's difference since they departed. So while the daughter kept him company upstairs, the old man went down and called a boy he had recently taken into his service to go shopping with him. They returned with good food and fruit of the season. A bottle of wine and dishes were prepared, then carried upstairs. Then father and daughter each raised their cups in turn, but when old Jin bowed right down to the ground before Luda, the latter, embarrassed, if you persist, sir, in these excessive courtesies, really, you will shorten my life, I tell you. That's what Luda said. They just ate and drank. The three of them continued to enjoy themselves, slowly sipping their wine, till evening, when unexpectedly a great commotion arose outside. Don't let him go away! Give him a lesson! Luda opened the window to look, and saw 30 or 40 men down there, all armed with white staves and crying, "Seize him! And bring him down! Yes, sir!" And in their midst, a figure on horseback was shouting too, "Don't let the villain get away!" Luda, assuming the worst, grasped a stool and was about to hurl himself downstairs and put up a good fight. Well, well, the following verses will give a hint to the ongoing story. This is what the verses said. With so many limbs twisting every day, 1,000 barefoot dragons lay, strange shadows clustering all around, 1,000,000 crimson-sealed monsters stand. You see a judge's beard from afar, near to is more like monstrous hair. Who sprinkled the forest with fresh red blood, or is it soaked in crimson vinegar? Anyway, if you wish to hear chapter 5, you will gradually know the meaning of the above verses. So, ladies and gentlemen, chapter 5 is waiting for you.